discovered planet Kai, but they only wanted to come to Kai so that they can come to the Atlantis, which is this realm. Because this is one realm, it's 8 other realms here. It's 9 realms in this planet. The whole planet is Kai, aka Tiamat.
Yeah, okay.
This is why we are Anunnaki or Anunnaki. Because this is planet Kai. So every black and Latino person, I'm not lying when I'm telling you that you are not a black person, you are Anunnaki God.
Basically the highest frequency, the highest vibrational matter, frequency and matter, is what you can see right there in every single shape it encompasses.
Yeah. I'm about to change my name to Metatron, bro.
Man, this is what, dude, I'm telling you, this is what we got off of. They got us off of the sacred geometry. It's also called sonic geometry. If you guys have heard of, it's really called sonic geometry. They call it sacred geometry because we weren't supposed to tell anybody. That's why it's called sacred geometry, because it was only meant for when you're of a low vibration, you're not supposed to fuck with this. You don't know what to do with this. So it was sacred geometry because we held it back for the very few people who were on a conscious level that can understand this type of information. But it's really sonic geometry, and it goes to how the pyramids are created. The pyramids, when you look at the pyramids and how they're laid out, they actually they're a frequency. The pyramid, the Giza plateau is laid out to a certain frequency. It's insane, and like every single shape that we have, like I broke this down, like, so every single shape that we have has a certain resonant frequency. Like the triangle is F sharp, the circle and the square, that's 180, it's 180 degrees. The circle and the square is F sharp, but that's 360 degrees. So remember, all these numbers equal 9. If you want, there's going to be a constant equal a number of 9. The pentagon is C sharp, that's 540 degrees. The hexagon is another F sharp, that's a little higher, F sharp on the scale, that's 720. The septagon, that's 7 sides, that's an A sharp, that's 900 degrees. The octagon is C sharp, that's 1080, another 9. Excuse me. Then you get to the tetrahedron. Then we started getting into 3-dimensional shapes. Those were the 2-dimensional geometric forms. Then the 3-dimensional geometric forms. The tetrahedron, that's 720. That's also an F sharp. And when you started getting 3-dimensional, these vibrations, these frequencies get higher. Then we have the icosahedron. That's a high. The octahedron. That's a high F sharp, and that's 1440. Then we have the cube. That's a C sharp, that's 2160. So all these numbers, they keep hitting 9. 9 is the highest vibrational number that you can get in the universe. That's us. That's the number that melanated people vibrate.
That's why they call us non-ether beings.
Yes.
From the energy that brought you, the science of sciences and the science in sciences, 9 to the 9th power of 9, supreme mathematics, African math magic, Ta technology, engineering applications of African sciences, and Ar3 Th3, how to build a pyramid, comes the 5th book, 5th element, 9 ether, ray, engineering. Since time immemorial, humanity has acknowledged the existence of a fundamental and quintessential element and energy that permeates the totality of nature. While the names, labels, stories, details, and explanations regarding this quintessential substance has changed over time, the concept has been present and prevalent in a variety of different cultural expressions, philosophies, theologies, ideologies, religions, theories, and sciences throughout history. In the English language, this quintessential substance is called ether, meaning pure air, clear sky, or to incinerate and burn. The word ether is also the etymological origin of the word Ethiopian. In ancient alchemy, ether was conceptualized as the 5th element after the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water. In Greek mythology, ether was personified as a primordial elemental god representing light, the upper air and upper atmosphere, which was considered the realm of the gods. The personification of concepts related to alchemy and ether in Greek mythology was actually predated by ancient African concepts and cosmologies found in Egypt. In ancient Egypt, the primordial gods called the 8 Agdog or Keminu gave birth to the 9 Ennead or Sedjet, which include deities that personified the concepts related to ether, including Atum or Re, representing energy or light, Nut, representing sky, as well as deities which personified the other 4 alchemical elements, including Shu, who represented air, Tefnut representing water, Yeb representing earth, and Satuk representing fire. If charted cyclically, the various personifications or transformations of ether energy from one form to another is comparable to what modern science now calls thermodynamics. The thermodynamic processes of ether were charted in the ancient science of alchemy and cultures around the world. The etymology of the word thermodynamic comes from the Greek word thermos, meaning heat, and dynamics, meaning power. Thus, the word thermodynamics refers to the power of heat. In ancient African cosmology, the power of heat was personified as a goddess who was the daughter of the sun deity Re, named Sekhmet, whose name literally meant the powerful one. Amongst the southern Egyptians, Kushites, Nubians, and Central Africans, Sekhmet was synonymous to the name Nyabingi, the queen of queens and master of thermodynamic change. In modern science, the acceptance of concepts related to ether has undergone a metaphorical thermodynamic change over time as well. Since modern scientific theory grew out of ancient theologies, initially many of the early modern scientists accepted and acknowledged the existence of ether. Plato, Aristotle, and Isaac Newton all acknowledged and discussed ether in their writings. In the 1800s, various scientists tried to prove the existence of ether experimentally but were unsuccessful. By the 1900s, Albert Einstein's theories of relativity convinced most of the scientists at the time that ether was completely imaginary and did not exist. However, the death of early scientific concepts related to ether gave rise and rebirth to new modern scientific concepts which echoed the concepts related to ether of the past. Albert Einstein's theories, which suggested that space was some type of medium, actually introduced what is called relativistic ether and the Einstein ether theory. In addition to the scientific evidence that supports the existence of relativistic ether permeating space, other modern scientific concepts that are reminiscent of ancient ether concepts are string theory, the Higgs field, and dark energy. And so, we observe a correlation between the attributes of ether from ancient science and 9 modern scientific concepts related to ether. From ancient science, 9 attributes of ether are: ether permeates all of nature, the universe, and existence. Ether is primordial, essential, and fundamental. Ether exists in the outer space, the sky, and heaven. Ether exists within the upper air and atmosphere. Ether is related to breath and breathing. Ether is needed for life. Ether can incinerate and burn. Ether is related to light, and ether is associated with energy. The book, 9 Ether Ray Engineering, provides a scientific framework to teach the reader how to harness the power of ether. For more information, be sure to check out the book, 9 Ether Ray Engineering, available at www.africancreationenergy.com.